morning, lovelies. I have complained about the lack of queer representation in science fiction and fantasy before on this channel, and POC representation, women representation, disability and neurodivergent representation. But there are books out there with queer characters that are written very well, and today I am putting a spotlight on some of my personal favorites. Most of these writers are also queer, but some of them are cis-het, so keep that in mind as you're making any purchasing decisions, if that is important to you. And I am giving one of these recommendations away for free in a book giveaway, so stick around for the end of the video to hear details about that. First up, the Witchmark Trilogy by C.L. Polk. This is an epic fantasy trilogy based off of Edwardian England. Witches are a thing, but they are persecuted unless they're rich. Each book has a different POV character. Book 1 is a witch in hiding who unravels this whole national conspiracy theory. Book 2, main POV character is his sister, who is a politician who has to clean up the mess they made in book 1. And book 3 is this rebel leader who is leading the revolution to make life better for witches. First book is a gay MM romantic subplot. Second book has a sapphic FF romantic subplot, and the third book has an F non-binary sort of romantic subplot. I mean, they're already married at the start of the book, they just have some stuff going on. One of them is leading the witch revolution, the other one is dealing with the trauma of being locked away by their oppressors for the last 10 plus years. You know how it is. This is a great read if you want to see modern socio-political problems handled in an epic fantasy setting. Up next, The Boneshard Daughter. I have not read the sequel yet, so no spoilers. This is an epic fantasy based on Chinese history? I'm not nearly as familiar with Asian history as I should be, I'm sorry. One of the main characters is a princess who is secretly learning forbidden bone shard magic. Another main character is a smuggler turned reluctant hero who acquires a pet that gives him magical powers. And another major character is a lesbian who goes from governor's daughter comfortable with the status quo to I'ma help my rebel girlfriend change the world. You know, you gotta keep these date nights interesting, spice things up. The Wolf and the Whale. This one is adult. I referenced it in my How Rape and Sexual Assault Are Portrayed in Science Fiction and Fantasy videos. Just an FYI. This is a historical fantasy about the clash between Vikings and the Inuit. The main character is an Inuit shaman who is... I want to say that they're transgender, but that uses terminology that really only makes sense in modern America. They're genderqueer, okay? And they've got cool magic powers, and they have to fight Vikings. The Mermaids of Ariana Quaid Trilogy by Tiana Warner. I interviewed her on this channel. She is a delight. This trilogy is a brutally intense story about killer mermaids and a Romeo and Juliet romance between a mermaid and a human. Or I should say Romeo and Juliet, seeing as it is a lesbian romance. Think Little Mermaid, but with a lot of dead teenagers. I swear to God it has a happy ending. Warner also has a new trilogy that she is just starting about Valkyries, and that is also an FF sapphic romance. Dread Nation and its sequel Deathless Divide. Zombies showed up during the Battle of Gettysburg and really fucked things up. It's basically queer black girls fighting zombies and racism in 1880s America. Like C.L. Polk, this one mirrors modern day issues, although obviously it focuses more on racism than classism. Go research the Reconstruction era if you want to see all the ways that we royally screwed up the cleanup of the Civil War and how that is still affecting us today. You will get so mad so fast. The main character here, Jane, is bisexual, and her enemy turned best friend, Catherine, is aromantic asexual. And these are the books that I'm giving away for Pride Month. Details on how you can win them are at the end of this video. The City in the Middle of the Night. This is a futuristic sci-fi that takes place on an alien planet. Specifically the type of planet that doesn't rotate, so one side is constantly facing the sun while the other is facing away, meaning one side is boiling lava hot and the other side freezes your balls off, if you have them. This one's got two different types of dystopias and the problems that can come out of revolution and dealing with trauma, and also telepathic aliens. This is yet another book with a lesbian pairing because of course I gravitate toward female characters and femme leads, and when you're looking at queer characters. Although this one does not end as happily as the others, it's more of a bittersweet, hopeful ending than an all-around flat out happy ending. And I want to give an honorable mention shout out to the Diviners series, Psychics and Ghosts in 1920s New York. There are 7 main characters. One of them is a gay man, and another is a lesbian asexual, aka a Bambi lesbian. That's not enough representation for me to ramble on about it, but I thought it deserved a shout out. It's a good series too. Those are my queer fantasy and sci-fi book recommendations. Please, 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 please give me your recommendations in the comments of this video. And if you want these copies of Dread Nation and Deathless Divide, the sign up link is in the description of this video. The giveaway runs until June 30th of 2022. It is international. Do not let me get lost in your spam folder because I'm going to be emailing the winner. Again, the link to enter is below in the description of this video. I will see you next time. Bye, lovelies.